Kailin Chio, good lord. That's all I got to say. What she did at the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad was beyond fascinating. I love me some LSU women's gymnastics. If you followed my channel at all, you know that LSU women's gymnastics team is the team I root for since Tennessee doesn't have one. And when they got Madison Ulrich last year, I was loving it. But Kailin Chow at this farmers market collegiate quad, good lord, that's all I've got to keep saying it. She did amazing things. Now she didn't get a perfect 10. She got so much more, and we've got to pay attention to what she is doing. She is one of the top gymnasts in women's gymnastics. Period. End of story. There is no one else that you go, okay, this is who you pay attention to. This is one of the top women. This is going to be somebody that Oklahoma's got to watch out for. And on top of that, when you look at the team score, Oklahoma and LSU tied. That's how dangerous Kailin Chio's performance was this weekend. Now, mind you, Madison Ulrich stepped up in a big way, as did Lexi Zeiss, as did several of the others. I mean, heck, Courtney Blackson stepped up, Connor McLean stepped up, Amari Drayton, Ashley Cowan, Kylie Cohen, but it was Kailin Chio that was the backbone of this team this year so far. Okay, it's their first performance and saying that, but the woman last year was 2025 NCAA vault champion as a freshman. She's a sophomore this year. She was an NCAA All-American in vault and all-around last year. She was SEC Freshman of the Year, Freshman of the Week 9 times. 2025 WCGA regular season All-American vault, uneven bars, balance beam, floor, all around. Yep, you heard that right. After a long season, her as a freshman was an NCAA vault champion, All-American in two events or in two of the categories, WCGA regular season All-American in all the categories, Freshman of the Year for the SEC, and the SEC was stacked last year. Jocelyn Robertson was in there. Kailin Chio is the person to pay attention to. And it's not just going to be this year. Now, mind you, well, is the sophomore to look forward to. Let me tell you something. Avery Neff is not going to let her sit on her laurels. So, Jocelyn Robertson, not going to let her sit on her laurels. Kailin Chio is someone that you've got to watch. And honestly, Avery Neff and Jocelyn Robertson on the sophomore side, and then there's Jordan Bowers. She's competing at the level of Jordan Bowers, Jordan Childs. That's how good Kailin Chio is. Now, we're going to get into what her stats were this weekend, both team and her personal ones. This was something that you should have watched. If you didn't, you're gonna regret that. Now, you're going to get to see some of her performances in this one, but the entire quad was amazing. Now, let's get into this. Before we get into the crux of this video, hit like, hit subscribe if you like college sports, because I do college sports, primarily college football, college women's gymnastics. Do a little basketball and other sports on occasion, but that's what I do, college. Also, General Robert Neyland, former University of Tennessee head football coach for decades, had 7 maxims to win any game, but they can also help you if you apply them correctly to your life. The second one is play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That is a maxim that can be also applied to your life. Look for those breaks and take it.
The 1.5 as well as anybody I've seen in collegiate gymnastics. Yeah, well, reigning vault national champion as a freshman. And Jay Clark, head coach, said this year her vault is bigger. Look at this amplitude. Huge. Just that hop forward again.
More on balance beam follows. Ulrich is 9.825, a pair of 9.825s for LSU. Billy Peterson finishes up her floor routine. It really feels like time's running out for the Tigers. They've got to go 9.9 plus on these last two, it feels like.
She is so good at just landing where she is. On that series, her feet weren't even straight down the beam. They were crooked, and you couldn't even tell by the way that she did not react in her series.
That front aerial is exceptional. The way that she closes her legs before her feet even hit the beam, just floats into it.
Well, she scores so well in college because from that side angle, you can see that all of her skills are really textbook. There's not many, if at all, built-in deductions here. Switch leap gets perfectly 180, and then she just so effortlessly is gentle when she lands on the beam.
Gotta have a stick.
And leave it to Kailin Chio.
Now, let's look at the stats of this game. I mean, we're going to start with the team scores. LSU and Oklahoma tied, 197.5. Little low for them, but still some of the highest scoring this season. UCLA, 197, even. And unfortunately, Utah only had a 195.9. Now, all around, Kailin Chio won the all around with 39.6. Followed behind, Jordan Childs had a 59.575. Avery Neff had a 39.5. Now, tied for fourth was Addison Fata of Oklahoma and Madison Ulrich of LSU. Now, I love me some Madison Ulrich. 39.45. On the ball, Kailin Chio had the fourth highest, was tied for the fourth highest score with 9.9. She was tied with Mackenzie Eastep of Oklahoma, Madison Ulrich, and Jordan Childs. Good company. Now, this was the same one that Avery Neff hit at perfect 10. So, and then Ashley Glenn had a 9.975. Faith Torres and Ella Zerbs both had 9.925. Faith Torres, Oklahoma, of course, and Zerbs is the Red Rock from Utah. Now, Kailin Chio was pretty far down the list. She was tied with several people for a 9.875. Or 9.85, I'm sorry. 9.85, really low for uneven bars. She's done far better. I think, first meet of the season, a quad meet, all this pressure. It happens. She's a sophomore. Balance beam. She was tied for first with the 9.95. Tied with Tana Scheibel and Faith Torres, both of Oklahoma. She was killing it, as you saw. And floor, she was second highest score with the 9.9. Jordan Childs and Mackenzie Eastep both had 9.925. Third highest score was Emily Innes, Avery Neff, Ella Zerbs, and Elle Mueller, 9.875. Kind of low scoring for a floor exercise. For some reason, they seem to be scoring floor a little bit tougher this year. Madison Ulrich really shined this time around. And I'm glad to see her, she's got Kailin Chio to work with. She's got a really good team to help her get to that next level. She was doing great at Denver, but, having to compete at this level, she's having to learn what it means to be that. And Kailin Chio is just in her own league. You look at these scores, it makes you wonder. LSU, on the all-around, Jordan Childs was Jordan Childs. But LSU and Oklahoma really stepped up. And there weren't as many LSU women doing going to that next level. Whereas, UCLA had a lot of folks stepping up, and they still came in to the second highest score, third in this Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad. I'm looking at this and I'm going, Ella Zerb's great person, even though, okay, she had a 38.825. But when you're competing against Jordan Childs, Kailin Chio, Avery Neff, Addison Fada, Madison Ulrich, I'm looking at this Lily Peterson. There was a lot of experience in these points.
From Amari Drayton on floor exercise, this is Kailin Chio. She's a sophomore. Her and Kalia Lincoln will finish this floor rotation for LSU and try to erase that 9.025 from Drayton. Meanwhile, the anchor for Utah, Anna Patarariu for the Utes, trying to finish on a good note for them.
And Kailin actually rolled her ankle a couple of weeks ago. It's remarkable. She was able to do that difficult first tumbling pass so well.
Anna Patarariu is so seasoned on this event. Just watch her face when she's doing balance beam. It's a weird thing to say when she's doing so many cool skills, but she's smiling through, clearly had a crooked front aerial, was able to adjust quickly, pull it back on the beam, and she's still smiling through it, hopefully telling the judges not to take any deductions for the rest of her routine.
Sam, it's going to be interesting if they give Anna that connection. Looked like she moved her foot. Judges do not want to see any type of dip in your shoulder. Any movement of the foot could break the connection, could risk not getting that 10-0 start.
But you can see just how comfortable Anna is in this anchor spot. Delivers a stuck landing. Utah needed it.
And what's so impressive about this tumbling pass is she doesn't even grab her legs. Most gymnasts use their arms to pull their legs to help them rotate.
Now, like I said before, LSU is my favorite women's gymnastics team. Period. End of story. I love me some LSU women's gymnastics. And when you're looking at the kind of competition that was happening, in Utah being the lowest scoring, even though they had Avery Neff, Ashley Glenn, Ella Zerbs, all performing at the level that they were performing at, that shows you what you've got to step up to. Avery Neff got a perfect 10. All these scores that were above 9.0 was amazing. I mean, it was literally it will probably be the best meet that happens, the best quad that happens this year. The best of the West was kind of disappointing. Several of the other ones have been disappointing so far this year. This Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad, I'm already going to say it. It was probably the best of the year already. And I don't think anybody else can come up with 4 better teams to put up there. Utah, who's got a group that is coming up with Avery Neff showing how much their upside is. Kailin Chio and LSU. It's LSU. Madison Ulrich, Kailin Chio. And then you've got UCLA, who's at their peak right now with Jordan Childs. And Oklahoma, Addison Fada, and Mackenzie Eastep, Faith Torres. Oklahoma's got a NCAA championship worthy team, but so does UCLA, so does LSU. LSU and Oklahoma are the 2 teams to pay attention to this year, in my opinion, with UCLA being a close second behind those 2. Utah, they could make it to the finals, maybe, but they've got to get the jitters away. They've got to stop making mistakes. And Oklahoma gets some scoring. There are times that the scoring for Oklahoma, now mind you, I like Oklahoma. I like the Sooners women's gymnastics team. What they've got built there is amazing, but I think sometimes the judges score them a little better than they should. That said, LSU is saying we have a good chance of winning the national championship this year. Oklahoma, though, is saying the same thing off of the kind of work ethic that Oklahoma does. Oklahoma doesn't have to win events, they just win by consistent scoring. LSU, when you're looking at the all around, Madison Ulrich was tied for third, but most everything there was either UCLA or Oklahoma. And Utah had a couple of folks in there, but it was barely any LSU. That's the only thing that they need to do. They need to get some women that are going to be very consistent. And I think Madison Ulrich is going to be that person for them. She scored a 39.45 in the all around. Not to mention her having a 9.9 on the vault. And she had a 9.9 on the uneven bars. Balance beam, let's get down here. She had a 9.825, a little bit of a bad score. And she had a 9.825 on the floor. Okay, she's got some things that she's got to work out. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from Kailin Chio. Thought I'd bring this to y'all's attention. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Hey, that's my video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And comment. Don't forget that either. Hey, this has been Paul with
Artlist.io.
Redneck Thinker Media. I do sports, I do politics. Hit like, subscribe. And y'all, this has been Paul. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.